Update, 1:16 p.m. Just under a year after it all started, Miramax and Quentin Tarantino have pulled the plug on their legal face-off over Pulp Fiction NFTs. The parties have agreed to put this matter behind them and look forward to collaborating with each other on future projects, including possible N. No details of the settlement between the parties was made public, but clearly Miramax has not stopped Tarantino from selling NFTs, which aren't exactly capturing the big bucks they were just a year ago. Also worth noting that Tarantino's last film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, was produced by Columbia. In a surprisingly lawsuit launched in November last year, Miramax took its one-time golden boy to federal court in California to shut down Tarantino's expressed desire to sell one-of-kind digital tokens from his acclaimed 1994 film. The once Weinstein-ruled studio asserted they owned almost all the rights to Pulp Fiction, a point Tarantino and his lawyer Brian Friedman disputed. As recently as earlier this summer, Tarantino stated in court filings of his own that the NFT he was putting to market did not counter any Pulp Fiction copyright Miramax has. Noting the NFTs were images based on the Pulp Fiction screenplay, not the actual film, Tarantino asked the court in June to toss out Miramax's case. Now that is all a moot point, or as Samuel L. Jackson says in Pulp Fiction: "If my answers frighten you, then you should cease asking scary questions." Previously, Jan 10 p.m. As the digital clock ticks away, Quentin Tarantino and Miramax's legal dust-up over the Oscar winner's plan to auction off NFTs of his Pulp Fiction screenplay just opened a whole new front. A week before the first of 7 offerings is set to start of the 1994 film's script, lawyers for the Bill Block-run studio just drew a distinct line in the infringement sand with the platform bringing the goods to market. "Your apparent reliance on Mr. Tarantino's position about his rights to Pulp Fiction is misguided," says Miramax outside counsel Bart H. Williams in a letter sent this afternoon to SCRT Labs CEO Guy Zeiskind. Read it here. "Whatever limited rights Mr. Tarantino has to screenplay publication, they d. What your press release calls Mr. Tarantino's never-before-seen handwritten screenplay cannot yet be iconic, or a fan favorite, so it is transparent that you and Mr. Tarantino are trying to capitalize on Miramax's content, intellectual property rights, and brand." Then, after some further verbiage, things get a bit medieval. Assuming that you, like Mr.